Hello everyone, and thank you for watching my video. In this video I want to talk about the Sig Sauer, really the P365 and the P365 XL. I want to do a little bit of a compare and contrast and tell you what I think of these two handguns. As many of you know, I already have a couple videos out on the P365, and I went ahead and purchased a 365 XL because I was that impressed with the 365. So stay tuned, and I hope you guys enjoy. Hello everyone, and hey, I just want to take a quick second to thank everyone for subscribing. I know I don't have a lot of subscribers, but for those of you that have subscribed, I want to thank you with much appreciation. I do these videos just because I love the community, and I want to hopefully bring some common sense to a lot of the stuff out there. And again, remember, this is just one guy's opinion, and so you can kind of take it or leave it. I'm not going to get upset either way, and fortunately you guys have been really kind, and I haven't received much hate at all, which is always a good thing. But I want to talk a little bit about my everyday carry because it's changed. I'm changing it up a little bit, and I want to explain what and why. So those of you guys that have watched my videos in the past, you know I've had several handguns. I think at last count, probably about 20. Now I don't have 20 at the same time. I've sold some to get some and those kinds of things. And so my goal is in having handguns is concealed carry, as many of you know. I am really an advocate of concealed carry and home protection. So not just concealing outside the home, but making sure that when I am home I have access to handguns. Because I really believe that protecting my family is paramount, especially in this day and age. So with that said, if you guys watched my last video or so, I went out and bought I actually went to the store to look for a Hellcat, and I couldn't find one. And I said, do you have anything kind of like the Hellcat? And they said, well, we've got a Sig P365. And I said, okay, that's great. Let me take a look at it. And this is what they showed me. This is the Sig P365. It did not have these sights on it. These are the True Glow sights. They're night sights, they're fiber optic sights, and I absolutely love them. The sights that came on this handgun originally were just the standard white sights. They weren't even the X-ray sights or the Sig sights as far as the Sig night sights. So I like these a lot better. This has been my EDC now. I think I bought this last December, and most days this has been my everyday carry until very recently. And the reason I chose this gun, and really it was almost an accident. Like I said, I went down to look for a Hellcat, and this is what I came up with. And I think I got it for like $379 plus tax. I think it was $403 out the door, whatever, right? Okay, I was good. That was an excellent price. And I've been in love with this gun. Went home, looked at the internet. There was a lot of hate. You know, when this gun was first put out, it had some problems. Let me just tell you guys that Sig has fixed all of the problems as far as I know. I've probably got close to 1,000 rounds through this thing over the last year. I don't get any of the primer drag. So if you go on the internet and look at Sig P365, you're going to get a lot of people questioning the veracity of this gun. They're going to question the safety, the track record. Let me just tell you, this came out, I think, first in 2018. This is now 2020, almost 2021. Sig has taken care of the problems with this handgun. At first, they had the wrong material, I think, for the striker. They've now fixed that problem. It has some primer drag. They've striker drag on the primer. They have fixed that. Oh, and by the way, these guns have all been safety checked, so just there's nothing in them. This has been a great handgun. And if you look at the difference between this one and my Smith, this is a Smith & Wesson 2.0. This is the compact version with the 4-inch barrel. If you take a look at this, there's about an inch difference between these two barrels. Maybe a skosh more, probably an inch. I think the Sig is technically a 3.1 inch barrel, and the Smith 2.0 compact is a 4-inch barrel. And sometimes the slides, I have some variance in them because the barrel only comes back to about here in these, right? Only comes back to about here. And so the rest of this is not barrel, right? So a little bit of size difference. This is my primary home defense gun. If I want to carry on a day that I need to carry heavy, it will probably be this handgun. This does carry 15+1, and of course the reason I bought this is it will also go to 17.1. I didn't want the full size because the full size is much more difficult for me to carry, so I chose this one, and I absolutely love this handgun. I would not trade it. This will be a lifetime handgun for me, probably one that I get to donate to my kids. So I have this Sig P365, and I'm reevaluating handguns all the time. And so I'm asking myself, okay, is there something else I need to do? And I thought what I really want to do is get a handgun that's between the Sig P365 and the Smith & Wesson 2.0 Compact. So I actually went down looking with my son, who is thinking the same thing I am, was looking for a Sig 320X Compact. And the store had them, which of course right now is, sometimes these are difficult to find. Well, they had one, and I'm taking a look at it, and I'm thinking, well, son, this is the same size as my 2.0 Compact, so this is just not going to work for me. I want something in between these two handguns. And he said, yeah, Dad, he said, but I've got the full size. This is one size smaller. I'm getting it. I said, great. And another reason we were looking at getting handguns is we wanted something with optics. And his had the optics. So I said, great, I need to do a little more looking. So with that being said, I kept looking a little bit, and I came up with this little guy. This is the Sig Sauer P365 XL. This really fit the bill. This does not hold 10 rounds like the Sig does. This holds 12 and 15. This Sig can also hold 12 and 15 rounds, but the barrel is a little bit bigger on this. This has, I believe it's a 3.7-inch barrel, so it's about a ½ inch difference in the barrel. And if you look, and I put these guns on top of each other, you'll see that that's about right. Get these lined up just right, and it's kind of hard to see on the camera. And if I overlay them with the Smith, see, now you can kind of see that if I take all three of these guns and line them up, this actually gives me exactly what I wanted. I wanted some guns that were various lengths, that were all considered high capacity, but would give me different carry options, because depending on what I'm wearing will depend on what I want to carry. I try to, if I want to, deep conceal, and I only want to carry 10 rounds that day, or even 12, but I still want a smaller barrel, I'm going to carry this Sig P365. I was so impressed with the 365. I felt like for the next handgun, I really wanted to stay with Sig Sauer. I got to tell you, I'm really impressed with Sig Sauer products. So I went down to the store, did a little calling around, because the store I was at currently did not have this. I found one. It was, I think, $689. And so I looked on Sig's website, looked on a couple websites, and they were saying they were $679. And I thought, well, that's interesting. So I called the store back, and they said, oh no, it's $689 with the Romeo Zero optic, which is exactly what I wanted. So I said, well, how many do you have? They said, we have 4. By the time I got there, they only had 3 left. So I purchased one. I have been so absolutely impressed. I've never shot with an optic before on a handgun, and I got to tell you, this optic has revolutionized the way I shoot. My vision is not all that great, and I am shooting groups that are very tight at 10 yards with this thing. I have been absolutely impressed and amazed. And here's the cool thing, a couple things about this that I really, really like. One is it does hold 12 and 15. It does not hold 10. So the handle's a little bit bigger. I get just as good a purchase on this gun as I do this one with the 12-round magazine. And honestly, I don't usually carry this with 10 rounds in it. If I carry it, it usually has 12. But there are those times that I need to carry a little more covertly. I'll put the 10-round magazine in it. This gives me a little bit longer barrel length, and I'm going to tell you, it really does make a difference. If any of you guys are thinking about the Sig P365 line, I'm going to tell you that the 65 is great. I think the XL is even better. And there's a ton of videos out on this, guys, so you can go look. The barrel size is a little bit longer, so it gives you a little bit longer from the front sight to the rear sight. The optic, this comes optic ready, and when you buy the optic, a little plate comes off there, and this just snaps right onto it. I got mine with the optic. I love it. Even if I have the optic turned off, I can still co-witness because the optic comes with a set of rear sights. I can still co-witness with my front sight. So I can use this with or without the optic in a moment's notice. They have improved the trigger, I think, on this Smith also, or on this Sig also. The 365 XL does have a little bit different trigger. It's the X series trigger. So Sig has actually come out with an X series line, the 320X, the 320X Compact, which is what my son bought, and then the 320 or the P365 XL. This has actually been a phenomenal addition to my handgun setup. Now, here's the cool thing. These two guns are actually highly compatible with one another. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to go ahead and take this down. Let me just make sure I can stay in camera here. I don't want to mess that up. Make sure that gets set right. And as I said, these have all been safety checked and so forth. That is not, oh, you know why? I've got the mag in it, that's why. This does not want to come apart when the mag's in it, which is fine. That's better. Okay, that's apart. Let me get the Smith out of the way a little bit. So this one's apart. And let me go ahead and drop the mag in this. Bring it back. And I think this one actually comes back a little harder for me than the other one does, for whatever reason. Okay, so both these guns are apart. Here's the cool thing. If I want to carry the 365 XL and I want to carry with this grip, but I want to carry with this slide, I can do that. These two frames are identical as far as handling the slide. So I can take the 365 XL, which is the 12 round, I can take this slide, I can put it on this handgun. There you go. This is a 365 XL frame with a 365 slide, and it works just fine. Shoots and everything just like it's supposed to, just like that. Boom. Or I can do this. I can take the 365 XL slide. I can put it on my 365. And I can have the extra lengthened barrel, my Romeo 0 sight, and 10-round magazine. That's pretty cool. So if either one of these guns were to malfunction, and I were to have a problem with the internals of either one of these handguns, or a problem with the slide of any one of these handguns, I can switch them out. I can actually use these in different combinations. This is very cool. Now I know that if you have a Sig P365 and you want to buy an XL frame, you can do that. You can certainly do that and then have a frame, but you'll need to swap out the internals as well. And I really didn't want to do that. So when I got this, I'm not sure if I was a believer or not. So I took it home and tried it, and sure enough, these guns are compatible with one another. In other words, I can swap out the slides and put either slide I want on either frame, and they work just fine. To me, that is very cool and gives me a high level of compatibility between these guns. Get that back on there, right? Because you'll notice the frame here, there's a difference in where the frame ends and the barrel and the slide end. That's how they can make that happen. So both of these guns are highly compatible with one another. This gives me a little more length in the barrel, which is it really is an easier gun to shoot, and it's certainly, in my view, more accurate. Plus, it gives me 12 and 15 rounds in the magazine. Now, the only thing I'm going to be honest with you that I'm not thrilled with, and there is something, and I'll be honest with you guys because that's why I get paid the big bucks, right? The one thing I'm not real thrilled about is, did I just put the wrong one in there? I think I did. I did. I knew I'd do that somewhere along the line. This is the 12 round mag. When you go to release the mag, if it's empty, this does come out pretty easy, but if you've shot it, sometimes this wants to stay in there, and it's kind of hard to get a hold of because this is such a flush mount. So I really would prefer carrying the 15 round magazine, which gives me something to grab onto, kind of like this one does. This is the 12 round magazine for this, which is typically what I'm going to carry in it. And you see if I bring that out, I can just grab this and pull it out. This does not have a lot of room here. That's the only thing I think Sig made a mistake on this, is if you're trying to, I mean, this is such a good flush fit. And the magazine does have the handle does have a mag well, so it's easy to get the other mag back in, but sometimes this one coming out, you've got to learn to grab it like this sometimes, because if you're trying to go at it at the side, you're not going to get it. So this is just something you need to practice if you're going to use this particular handgun. This one is not all black. This one is. And now it gives me the option of, I can take this gun with, again, a 10 round magazine. I can throw the XL slide on it and have it all black with my Romeo Zero sight as well. So really what it does is it allows me optics for both of these. Now let's talk a little bit about holsters. What I found is the holsters for this don't always fit the XL. So I have a leather holster here that I think I showed you guys last time that I really am in love with. I like this thing. It fits this gun so well. Well, if I want to use this gun on it, it does not want to go in quite right. It sort of does, but it's going to get in the way of the sights hitting it. It doesn't quite fit. But what I have found is that the holsters that fit my XL, here's one I got, and by the way, this is a brand new holster. This is called a G-Code Stealth, I think. This one is for the XL. It is for the sight. It actually has a, this holster is pretty awesome, guys. It actually has a felt lining. It's felt here, kind of a felty type material. I don't know if it's really felt or not, but it's a real smooth material. It's got a Kydex or Kydex type insert, but it's also felt in here, so when you put your gun in, it's real smooth, it's real easy on the gun, and that just snaps right in. You can't quite hear the click because it's not a Kydex click, but you can feel the click. Well, here's the cool thing. This gun also fits it just fine. And it's just, this is, if you just go look up G-Code Stealth, you'll find, I think it's called tacticalholsters.com. It's an expensive holster. I'm not going to lie to you. It's about $109, but it's been a pretty awesome holster. And that's what I've been carrying this thing in. I absolutely love this handgun, you guys. So again, now I've got all three sizes of handguns that I like to carry depending on the situation. And these are becoming my EDCs, again, depending on what I'm wearing and so forth. And again, these two guns, the slides are interchangeable, so it gives me a lot more options as I'm choosing what to carry. That's not to disparage any other handguns out there, guys. You know I have a wide variety of them. I love them all. But these two specifically have become my EDC carry depending. And if I need to carry heavy, I just carry this one. But these are so easy to carry, and I'm absolutely amazed at the quality of these handguns. Again, they have almost like a 1911 style rail inside, so you've got a really good, they shoot really well, is what I'm trying to tell you. They shoot smooth. I really believe the XL shoots better than the 365. Now, opinion is going to vary because we're all individuals, and depending on how we carry, will be what kind of is the determining factor on that. But I believe the 365 actually does, or the XL does shoot a little bit better for me than the 365. But if you're proficient with one, you can very easily be proficient at the other. The gun shoots so similarly that there's not a lot of adjustments that you would have to make. And again, so now I have guns in all the three sizes that I want to carry concealed. I hope this video has been helpful. And by the way, I appreciate you guys' comments when you do comment. I do try to respond to those comments as quick as I can. I just had a back surgery, so I'm getting back at this a little bit slow as far as some of my responses, and I apologize. But I do appreciate all your comments. I've had some great reviews on a couple of my holster videos. Some of you guys have come up with some awesome holsters. How I found this G code is I was actually looking at one of the Sig blogs, just to see what other people were using for holsters for this new handgun that didn't have a lot of holsters. And I came across these guys, and oh, by the way, not only is this a great holster, it does come with the wing, and this clip is probably one of the tightest fitting clips I have. I have some white hat holsters, which I like. That's what I carry this in. I've got this holster. It's got a pretty nice clip on it. It does a good job. This thing, when it clips on my belt, it really clips tight. This thing is not coming off. Been really impressed with the G Code Stealth Series holsters. So you should look those up again. It's I think it's called tacticalholsters.com. They've got some really great products. And so I look forward to your comments. Thanks, guys, for watching. And I appreciate you guys supporting my channel. Again, I'm hoping I'm giving you guys stuff that just hopefully makes sense. I don't want to do anything controversial or anything like that. But I'm going to tell you, again, you'll see a lot of videos out there that are kind of questioning whether these Sig 365s are good guns or not. I'm telling you right now, my experience, and I saw a guy who had a video that I got 2 of them in a row that didn't work for him. I get it. But my experience with Sig Sauer and the P365 line, and even my son with the 320X Compact series, has been absolutely stellar. These things just run day in and day out. I probably got about 800 rounds through my XL, and it has not malfunctioned one time. And it shoots everything. So been really impressed. I think these are handguns that we as a community can depend on. Your experience may vary because every gun you get from a manufacturer is not identical to the one that was just off the line. There may be problems. Be patient with the manufacturers. So just, kind of in closing, I've had a Ruger SR9C. After my first time shooting it, I just sent it back and have Ruger fix a spring. I had a Glock 42. After the first time I shot it, I had to send it back for Glock to fix because of a bad spring. I've had in fact, I think I had to send that back twice because it was stovepiping. So I have had to send guns back from reputable manufacturers. It just happens because it's called manufacturing, right? I have every confidence in Sig Sauer. I've really become a fan. I like their stuff. If I didn't have this, I'll be honest, if I didn't have this Smith & Wesson 2.0, I would buy the 320X Compact. I absolutely love that gun. It's amazing. The only reason I don't buy it is because I have this one, and this one meets my needs, and I really don't want to get rid of it. So if I were to get that, it would really be duplicating what I have here, except for the optic. And I'm not in a financial situation to do that. If I had the extra $900, I'd be down at the store right now probably buying the 320X Compact. I actually love that gun. The quality is amazing. I've shot my sons. So I'm becoming a real Sig Sauer fan. So Sig 320, the 365, the 365 XL are awesome handguns, and again, the slides are swappable, so you have a lot of interchangeability between these two guns, although they really are very different handguns. So thanks a lot, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'm hoping to do a video very quickly on my brand new Kel-Tec Sub 2000, so be looking for that video to show up here in the next week or so.